Hello, everybody. It's Justine. Okay. Uh-oh. We don't want to have two audios in the background. Okay. Howdy, everybody. Howdy, Twitch people. Howdy, watch me work people, or watch me twerk. That'd be an interesting sight. That would be an interesting sight. Watch me twerk. And welcome people on the YouTubes. So I am going to be doing this episode about the project that is near and dear to my heart, and this won't be every week because it's been a lot to work on and work with and things like that. So, but the project I want to talk to you about, because I said I was going to do this last week, was this game right here called ReElise. I don't even know if it functions right now because I don't have the software available for it. So I have no idea what build this actually is or, or anything like that. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I know I can't edit it right now. I know that. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, I was fooling around with it. So this is the game that I really want to make. This is, oh, it's pretty too, dang. This was 4 years in the making. Obviously, I was making an RPG Maker VX. Let me turn this down a little bit because I can't even hear myself think right now. Okay. Yeah, me and this game have been through a lot together. We went through a failed Kickstarter together. We went through years of development and struggle and everything else, you know. Me and this game are very, very close and very, very intimately familiar with each other. And I have a Patreon to restore this, or not even to restore it, to bring it to the quality which it could be. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about bringing this project. And the reason why I did Black Simulator in the first place is because, number one, I did want to make people laugh, have some fun, you know, things like that. Number two, I want to show some understanding and everything, you know, but really I did it to bring in some finances and to release something and to know what that process is like for this game. I do a lot for this game. I have a Patreon out right now for this game. There's a lot of things going on with this game. So I can kind of show you a little bit of a tour. There's going to be some unfinished assets here and there, so, you know, bear with me. I don't know if that boat's here yet. No, not yet. So this is supposed to be the ocean here. Looks like crap. So what I wanted, something what I wanted to do was that I wanted to actually implement optical illusions into the game to give it the look of whatever. But I won't need to do that now since I've been able to move on to another engine, a much more powerful engine. So that's kind of nice. But I think it's good for everybody, for even myself, to revisit this because I've been away from it for so long. Yeah, I haven't done this in like almost 2 years now. This is your house? Or the crib? And, they're activated for some reason. So what you have here is, the room is pretty bare right now. But what you have here is, what does this do? Oh, okay. Okay, that's right. So this whole room right here is kind of like in Suikoden when you can actually like find items and albums and things like that. So you can basically furnish this entire room right here with items that you find. They can do special things. So this is very reminiscent of Suikoden, where you can bring in different items and statues and decorate your whole castle, whatever, you know. But instead of it being multiple rooms or whatever, it's actually just one room, so that it's more convenient. So it can be because in Suikoden, like, you had to be on this elevator and go over to God's green earth and everything, you know. It's just kind of whack, actually. So yeah. Yep, and it would play the music. That's pretty cool. I forgot to put that in there. Now this guy right here, this guy is known as McSwaggles. I forgot I call him McSwaggles. And I wanted to just put a whole bunch of hip hop into it, you know. So this is obviously patterned after, you know, it has a close similarity to people like Slick Rick and things like that, you know. So, what's up, homie? Y'all good? Hey, we found our runaway. Got a new trade. You already know the deal. Talk to the princess, homie, and I got you on items, legit. So he's like the best thug in the entire thing. He's gangster. What's good, y'all? Just come in to chill. All right. So basically, this is your item store right here. Because you're all felons, you really don't get to go into towns or whatever, you know. If you had to go to a town, you're probably gonna solve a problem. But this guy will hook you up with the goods and everything, so I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not supposed to work on this game. Cancel. All right. Now that we can say this is Princess, also patterned after somebody resembling another person we won't mention. Princess. Salutations. Purify your eyes with my most recent imports. Okay? The guy did that too. That's funny. So this is where you get your armor, your armory, stuff like that, you know. One thing that didn't make sense to me in a lot of RPGs was that, like, I didn't want to, you know, I didn't have the assets or the art to, you know, change your equipment every time, you know, in terms of look and everything. So I just kind of made it sink in with you know, so you have like a heavy hoodie or a tightly woven hoodie, or, you know, like hoodies wrapped in like plastics and steel and things like that, you know, as a cover. So so then that way you have some continuity between, you know, what you're wearing and what you see in the battle, which is nothing really new. So, and this is for like your equipment right here. This is like for your styles, so to speak. So this is kind of your accessories. You know, you can equip different styles in order to get different buffs and things like that. So it's kind of like your accessory thing. And instead of having like headgear, like a helmet or whatever it is, again, I'm trying to make the continuity of like actually the world and what they're wearing. You just have knowledge, so you have books, and those books actually give you different, you know, more stats in terms of your mentality and your intelligence and what type of mixing arts you can learn and things like that. So I thought that'd be a little bit more consistent with the world. Now let's see what's going on upstairs. I might hit some random stuff, so okay, so this right here is where you actually, dang, this is pretty. This is where you actually like the story basically with this is that you're commandeering Show's place. Show is using the party or not? No, he's not. Show is one of the guys that is a member of your party, and he's actually a wealthy guy. And he has a butler, so he's kind of like a Batman, and he's like a cult Batman basically. So a cult, I thought, you know, like, well, what you don't know about this game right here is that it's actually a this is my Christian game actually. So it's this weird Christian game that I've been making for years, and it's supposed to be a cult, but you know, I wanted to tell the story about the things going on behind the scenes in the occult, because no one ever talks about that anymore. You know, like, people have a very, very rudimentary understanding of like the occult, and they're like, witchcraft. So as soon as you say witchcraft, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, and you paint these people in the worst possible way, and a lot of them aren't really supportive in like black magic or whatever, you know, they're sort of in white magic. But what I want to explore in this is that any spirit comes for collection. Eventually they come to collect. What makes it so cool with God and Christ is that God's already collected through Christ, which means that you're free from that collection, from that debt. But all spirits come to collect. So I don't care if you're participating in black magic or white magic or whatever it is, they coming to collect one day. So I wanted to explore that story, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to explore the occult in terms of trying to be edgy. I'm trying to explain it as a, you know, like give it its humanity and give it its, you know, its thing of, you know, hey, this is appealing, and this is why this is appealing, you know. If you've been picked on your whole life and everything, you know, or you want to be healed, or you want power and everything, you know, it's a very easy way to get it, because there's no like repentance or anything like that, you know. It's just a couple of rituals and you're done. But again, comes at a cost, and depending on what you're into, the cost gets real high real quick. Not just you, but your generations also. Again, every spirit that you interact with comes to collect. The joy of Christ is the fact that the Father God has already collected on Christ, through Christ. So therefore, you're debt free. And now you can live in joy, and peace, and freedom, and victory, and all that other great stuff. So anyway, but he runs this orphanage, so it's like, that's what I'm saying, he's like an occult Batman, basically. So you have this orphanage, and you can actually, like, I won't say collect kids, but you can actually take care of kids, you know. So you can do some good things, you know, because this character that I'm controlling right now, her name is Elise, and she's kind of murdery. From her perspective is that she was human trafficked for 7 years, and she's just trying to bring order back to the world by conquering it. So I'm sorry, this thing's chugging right now. So what that means is that, you know, that she wants to collect this super powerful sword, and that sword, I think this is the wrong asset right here, maybe. Oh no, it's not. That's just a different area. So to collect the sword in order to overpower the king of the world, basically. So this is a shattered sword that can bring about this absolute power, and she's trying to do that. So therefore, that's what y'all guys are doing, trying to overthrow the world government in order to rule it yourself, so that, you know, all these murders and rapes and things like that don't happen anymore. So from her perspective, like, yeah, I might kill somebody, but because you're trying to stop me from doing something righteous, that means you're evil also, and all evil must be purged. So your character's not a very nice person. But at the same time too, I want to show that, hey, she's doing it what she thinks is right out of love. It's just that it isn't. That's all. Hold on a second. Let me shrink this down. Here we go. My computer is chugging for some reason right now. I find it amazing that this thing can't handle, like, some very rudimentary things. Pop out. Okay, give me just a second. I need to turn off device that is sucking up bandwidth right now. So hold on just a second. Okay, I'm black. I mean back. Okay, so now let's go over here. Okay, y'all want to eat and rest? Sure. So basically, like, you know, this your home. Like when you're home, I want you to feel like you're at home. So also, Show has a restaurant, and Show is this Negro right here. But Show has a restaurant too, and that's how they make their income in terms of, you know, offsetting all the things that they got to do in order to survive. So, you know, Show is wealthy and still making money, and so is his butler and things like that. So they have a little side restaurant that they hire people in to cook and things like that. You know, and that brings in some money. As well, you know, so, and also they have a hotel as well, so they have people staying in there as well from time to time. So, but he had this underground operation that's coming out of their house as well. So, it may not work narratively because it's kind of like, well, how did they not get arrested and how do they not get traced back to them? So I might have it be like an underground hub where, you know, you have other rebels and people like that are, you know, resistance fighters and people like that who are coming in here secretly to hide out or whatever it may be. So anyway, so it's kind of like in Grandia where you can actually talk to your teammates about how things are going, what they're thinking. So after each event, you can talk to them about how they felt about each event. Again, completely optional. You can just go ahead and blaze through the game if you want to, but they have, you know, these conversations about, you know, what just happened. I don't think I triggered anything. This is not where the game's supposed to start. It's supposed to start somewhere completely different. But let's just we'll talk to Show, because I've been talking about him a lot. You staying in tonight? Probably not. I'm not old enough to stop being a louse. Or we pride ourselves. Why should not be? It's a good time. Come with me sometime. I'm not thinking about that right now. Dismissed. I said that. Led is this girl that you escape with in terms of the human trafficking. So these two characters know each other. They've escaped from human trafficking together, and she's the one that kind of goes along with what she wants because she just likes her, loves her, you know. So, you know, these two are like this, but I can't really show you this and cross my fingers like that. But they are very, very close. So let's see what she has to say to her. I like the food here. I like the clothes here too. Great. I'm glad you're enjoying the simpler things in life. Soon we'll make the world a really happy place. You're gonna love it. Yeah, I know. I just worry about that. Yeah, about you sometimes. What we're trying to do is so dangerous. It seems like suicide. Remember, you and anyone else can leave at any time, but I'll sacrifice everything so what happened to us won't ever happen to anyone again. I told you, I'd always be with you. Okay. Then we have Heris. Comic relief, goofball, but has a pretty dark past. So I won't spoil all the story with him, but he has a pretty dark past in terms of how he came to be a soldier in the army that, you know, at least is now opposing, essentially. So the full story about how he got to that place, you know, basically it was mostly for revenge. So, but he wants the world to be a better place also. That's why he's with them. So that's why everyone's together. They want the world to be a better place. It's just that their methods aren't agreeable with everybody, you know. But then again, there's the argument, you know, should it be agreeable? Should it not be agreeable? You know, like that's politics almost, you know. So, but this is more of a dictatorship right here. Here is slightly quieter than usual is wrong. I don't really want to talk about it. That's weird coming from you. Are you sure you don't want to tell me what's going on? Well, In either case, your concern makes me feel a little better. Whatever, I'm just making sure you're used to the team. You're just adorable, you know? Shut up, ears. Elise has a phrase. These two share a bond that he definitely has a hot for her. It's not even a spoiler right there. Like the first thing that he interacts with her is like he's flirting with her. So he flirts with her all the time. As a matter of fact, I'll show you one of his attacks if I can. But he loves her. He just loves her. And she kind of knows deep down to like that she's crazy, and that settling down is not something that she's gonna be able to do with many men. So basically, like, he's the best that that she's got. She's the only chance that she's got like a normal life, and she wanted to go in that direction. So they just kind of have this like love-hate relationship right now, So it's cute, I guess. So Leah's how's about that date? I thought we agreed that only if we took down should die. Actually, his name's supposed to be Saladin. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second. Let me go. Girl, you won't last that long. Won't be able to contain your excitement. Wow. Yeah, excitement. That's what it is. Yeah, so he's only here for like the date. Apparently. Forgot about that. That is funny. Let me check my stuff here, because this thing is crawling. Okay, OBS is taking a good chunk of it. Yeah, sometimes something will turn on my tasks and just eat up like all my memory. It's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know what that even is. WinTab service, 32-bit. I'm gonna leave that one alone. That's not looking like I should F with it. Okay. Give me just a second. Yeah, it's just all the stuff that's kind of running right now. Google shouldn't be running anything. Yep. Just same old stuff. Okay. Well, whatever. Okay, so come on, moving ahead. Let's go ahead and go to bed. Okay, so this is all a bunch of glitch stuff right now, so because that's not what's supposed to be happening. Alright, do I have anyone in my party? No, I don't. So the way the game is actually structured is that, like, I can walk up to the last boss right now. Now remember, this game is 4 years old, and I was actually commenting about this with my wife. I was like, you know what? I beat Breath of the Wild structure way ahead of time, because that's the way old school games used to be. It used to be, kind of go into it and figure it out. And I miss those days. I want to do that with an RPG. And I got that idea more from No More Heroes, actually. Just the whole really cool and strong antagonists, and kind of defeating. I don't know. It was very, very open ended to me. So. But yeah, so yeah, that's not the main character right there, but So let's say, I wonder if this actually works or not. Let's find out. Now this is, obviously you can see the RPG Maker original assets right here, so you can walk right through it and everything. It's kind of crazy. So she would be here. I think I'll run to this line right here. Yep. Looking back, I wish I could be like her. So poised and strong, filled to her eyelashes with character, defending her husband, her king. When she is Saladin, man, I didn't understand at all, but I'm only starting to now. But it's too late. Okay, this is also a placeholder right here for her graphics. So this is not LED right here. This is Liab. And she's contemplating right now whether or not to kill you or not. Because in this game, like I said, you're the bad guy. So she's contemplating whether or not to kill you or not. You know? Because at this point in time, you've gotten further enough in the game to probably where, you know, like you've taken out a couple of the other guardians of these pieces of this sword. So, because like there's 7 guardians and they all guard specific things. So you're challenging all of them in order to overthrow the king. And so probably by this time in the game, you've taken out some of her buddies and she doesn't ever be happy about it. Okay, love, you spoke about love. Of all people on the planet, you speak about love. I do. We are dying out there. You two sat around and let it happen. I went through 7 years of hell as you held back more of your policing force. Where were you? Where were you? It got real all of a sudden. Just behave. You want to free niche. Just how to behave. Just key to get rid of this evil. And so the judge's key is the item that is said to actually destroy all evil. Like I said, I'm not giving away spoilers. This is just all the stuff that's like laid out like the beginning of the game, pretty much. The whole point is to get the judge's key. And the judge's key is this item that's supposed to be able to destroy all evil. Now, Elise has no faith at all, and yet she's putting her faith in this thing to destroy all evil. And something like that needs to be in a very secure place, and the king of this land, Saladin, who is her husband, is the safest place to be around. So it's just around the guy's neck. So the reason why you're trying to get this powerful weapon is to take that guy out, because the only way you can get that key is to take it from him. So so that's what Elise is mad about, the fact that he has this key that can end all evil and he doesn't use it. And so she's like, what the heck? You know, I got, you know, tortured and raped for years because you have some kind of moral failings or something like that. What in the world are you two doing? So, or again, it gets real. So, let's see here. God matters. Like, it's not an option. I'm sorry, I haven't read this in like forever, so I'm kind of reading along with it. So I'm being quite quiet right now. So this won't activate unless you've been taking out the other people, but right now it's still activated. But theoretically, you should be able to challenge her in order to get to him. If you've taken some people out, then this event right here happens. Because this character right here is very conflicted about these type of choices he made. So basically, like, you can say that the people who guard the pieces of this powerful weapon actually are like heroes. It'd be like heroes from the previous game where you beat the game and you freed up all the people and everything, you know, from the evil guy and da 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 da. But now, like, you know, you're coming in to take them all out, basically, you know, and he's just conflicted with a whole lot of different things going on in his life. Dang, I ran your dirty laundry in front of everybody, jeez. Yeah, I might have to cut down on the dialogue with this. Okay, talk to her. So this is where I don't have the background up yet, so. But I have options too where you can come straight in, you can beat, I want to do like a new game plus, you can come in there, you can beat Lieb and like finish the game, kind of like in Chrono Trigger, you know, we have these little options to do things like that, so. These are all his soldiers lined up to defend him. And again, the graphics are off right now. So you can ask them, you know, what, why, and things like that. So, yeah, none of this is gonna make any sense to you guys, so don't worry about it. And he's kind of breaking down, you know, why things are the way that they are. So I'm probably gonna get smoked here, because this is like the final boss. This is a very large sword. So let's give the Yokali's try. Now, the way the battles work in this game is that you have different styles of attacks. So in a lot of turn-based RPGs, you're just hitting like the enter button over and over and over again in order to win, in order to wait for your turn or whatever. What I do here is that I'll show you a better example of this. I'm not sure the guy kills me, but certain monsters have certain auras around them. So if he had like a red aura around him, I would use the red attack. I would just color. So the whole thing is color coded. So certain enemies can only be destroyed with the corresponding colors to go alongside with them, and if you don't do that, some of them will actually be healed by that attack, or it won't be effective at all, or take maybe one damage or whatever, you know. So a lot of the attacks don't work universally, but if they have no aura, you're kind of good to go in however you want to go. But most of the monsters have that. Your guard is your guard, so you can actually do something called counter. That raises your defense up and it gets you, and so if the enemy attacks you, then you can go ahead and counter them and deal out massive damage. Items right here, and this is a specialty, and so each character has two specials that are specific to them. Like she has something called stare, and that is where it's kind of like she tells her sob story almost, you know, the enemy, and it affects their emotions, because in this game right here, you have something called the emo system. So instead of like status buffs, you have different emotional statuses in the game that affects how you fight. So like, for example, if you're depressed, then that weakens your attacks. If you're attacks and defenses, if you're angry, then that means that what happens is that you lose a turn because your character's out of control. So they start attacking, you know, that can be a detriment to you, because, you know, depending on what type of aura, if I did a yellow attack against a red aura monster, then that means that, like, you would heal that monster in an accident, you know, so you don't want to be angry. So basically, I'm trying to teach emotional stability within the game's mechanics itself, too. Because, again, Christian game. Anyway, let's see what he's got going on. Oh, dear. So those are his stats right there. His strength is his HP basically, and he's not effing around. So let's do our best shot at him. Probably won't be able to land up an attack at all. These are your techniques right here, so we're gonna go ahead with this one, one Shriner ones. Attack! Yep, I'm dead. So every time that the screen changes, every time you start the game, the screen will actually change. So if I went here, like that, and it kind of tells the story of the characters too. You know, we've seen that guy before, haven't we? But who's that guy? Let's see, we show right here. Let's see her. So, and this is, you know, led in the middle of an act and everything, you know, so yeah, like, this is actually a pretty interesting game. Now that I've been like almost 2 years out of developing it actively. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's go to this save state. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay. I know what that is. We shouldn't do that. Yeah, this is like an unfinished scene right here. It's pretty interesting, but this is like to be a whole bunch of spoilers in this one, so where's my menu? Oh, I can't do menu right now. Crap. Yeah, I don't have any menu access right now, so it means I start the whole thing over again. That's fine. You know, since I've learned that, like, what is that doggone place called? Since I've learned that, itch.io is so easy to throw stuff up there, you know, I might just go ahead and release the demo of this game out on with those guys, just for you guys to play it. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's go to the 36-minute mark. All right. And again, once you finish certain areas, like the red areas are places, and you can go anywhere on the map where they have a red area right here. Okay, so anywhere there, you can go ahead and dash in these places, and you just have to be careful about where you go. So, for example, if I go into, say, I guess, hopefully it's a program right here. No, I don't think it's programmed quite yet. Oh, it's here. The prophet told me. Ouch. Nope, I'm out. Hard news. It's kind of funny to me. All right. I don't know what that does. I think I know what that does. That's another programming thing. Okay, so let me go in this dungeon real quick. I think this is finished. Okay, I don't know how to do this anymore. It's a little bit of puzzling. Oh, you can walk right off of there, so that's no bueno. Okay. Okay, because you're supposed to be able to fall off of the doggone thing, so Like, so for example, let's say that, hey, I want to go here. You know, you can't overshoot, otherwise you lose life. I think, go here? Yeah. So this is like an old factory. So there's a whole lot of lore in the game also. Get some money. Okay, that's me going back to the beginning. All right. There we go. Yeah, this is like particularly hard. It's just, you know, something kind of mixes the gameplay a little bit. I want to do more of this kind of stuff, you know, and then in the new engine I'll be able to do that. I saw a treasure chest down there, so let's go for it. Huh, 0 G's. All right. Okay, it's supposed to be a little more difficult. Oh yeah, that's right. So these little tags are around here. Zipping, that's how the tech goes. Metal making metal is how the heathen rolled. Machines, arms booming like a thunder cloud to make echoes on a battlefield. Hunger, wars getting anxious. So these machines fed the machine. The Eldians had their mixing, but the heathen had their beams. Fire burning it all down with different fuel. Sparks and different fools. Clank, clank went the clock, tick tock, and it finally stopped. Okay, so I forgot about I did that. So you have these, which is pretty cool actually. So with each area, you have a synopsis of what was happening in that area, and there's a traveling guy who just puts it all in verse about, you know, what actually happened in terms of what this area meant. So apparently this was meant to make weapons for the heathens, especially. So I guess so insinuates that there was some kind of war that was believer and non-believer in nature. So yeah. Okay, anyway. Oh, there we go. Keep mess up the illusion here. Alright. What? Huh? Yeah, so, and again, you're losing life when that happens. So I have way too much HP. I'm at level 99. Good lord, what the heck happened? I thought I was gonna get some kind of challenge, but never mind. Power decreased by 5. So you see that? Decrease the power. Now, I could expand that, and I have to expand that a little bit more, because that was kind of fun, actually. Okay, he is there for some reason. This is where you can save the game. But I don't know what happens if I touch him. I don't think something good, so. No, these are like bosses. Beast Ray Raid at 10 HP. See, that's what I was saying before. I did pick the right attack. These guys right here are not making it clear, so they're kind of cheating. Oh yeah, that's right. So the cool thing about the game too is that no matter how strong you actually are, if you don't pick the right attack, it doesn't mean anything. Like she has something called Days and Kindness. She has something called Word, so she has more buffs. So it's just kind of good to have her guard. When you guard also, you recover a little bit of life too. So we'll do the mixing right here. We'll do fire. Mixing is basically the equivalent of a magic. You know, it's a mixture of glory and the elements together. Is what it's basically what it is. We'll do double remix. So you can do something called kindness. Let's be kind to. Oops. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Actually, let's do thunder. And normally you don't have like that much power, so you can just have continuous battles like that, so it's kind of cool. Alright, so you see someone living here, it's like, what the heck? So that's a mystery. He thought it was abandoned. Yep. These sprites are not finished. Yeah, this is Nile right here. That's more broken than I thought it was going to be. Let's see if I can get you guys into. Oops. Yeah, the problem is I don't have a key for this anymore, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. Cause I keep on trying to call Interbrain and like they're not contacting me back. It's kind of frustrating. Yeah, I know. Jerk. This has been refreshing, guys. What is this safe spot? Okay, so this right here, this is neat. So the way that you actually change your weapon is that you actually go. You have to get these 2 gems because the nature of what you're dealing with is like, you know, like Dragon Ball Z level, you know, power type of guys. So basically, like when you start the game off, you might as well be, you know, Goku from Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball. You might as well be Goku or Dragon Ball towards the end of Dragon Ball. Like he was really strong and powerful, you know, but compared to what he's going up against, just like the Friezas and the Cells and people like that, nothing. Got nothing to offer. The thing that you got to do is that you got to collect these little stones called Angel, and it has these weird supernatural qualities within this this stone and they're mysterious, and you pick them up and they give you powers and things like that. So one of the ways that you get these powers is that, you know, you have to pick up the living stone and also the some kind of mental stone, and you can go in and they have living metal and something else stone. And when you get the 2 stones, is that you have the ability to actually go inside your subconscious, and the subconscious of your weapon and your weapon, and then actually it will actually your weapon will grow alongside with your mental state. So, kind of interesting idea. So this is what you can do is you can talk to talk to him. Dive into your subconscious to draw out the hidden potentials. Questions. all alone, or how dangerous is this? Basically, kind of like this is kind of like entering the Matrix into your own subconscious. This is kind of what this is. No more questions. Let's go. Let's go into Elise's head. So your party is still there, because it's inside your mind. You would have your party with you in your own mind. This is very, very abstract. I think this is so trippy. I put a lot of work in this doggone thing. I'm happy with myself right now. Anyway, so at least you're going. So you can talk to your party members inside your own head, but they're not obviously your real party members. But this is actually how you feel about them. So you get to go in and see how everyone feels about themselves, or how they feel towards the other people in their crew. So what Elise won't vocalize to people, you know, in reality, you can see how she really feels about Led or Show or Harris. You can see how she feels about all that type of stuff. So that's kind of a neat thing. What a better place for me, for the other girls who went through that bottomless misery. Nothing's gonna stop that. You're a sister to me, my only family left. We'll remember her, Fairy Ann. You're a blessed sister too. Fairy died. I saw her. She drug me away. You're doing well. Huh, that's an old picture. I don't know why that's there. Was there any doubt? It's still good to hear you say it. We got a tough road ahead, but you're gonna make it. Do me proud. Could I do any less? Here's, hey sweetie, I know what to do with you in a lot of different ways. I think you know exactly what to do with me. You're just afraid, maybe too afraid. Funny thing is that I know that you're my only option to live a normal life when the time comes, to be all of me in peace. That'd be nice, but I can't. I doubt I get the happy ending. At least we can always spend time here. But if the time comes when you can stop being afraid, maybe we can talk outside these walls. Thank you, Harris. Yeah. So see how she really feels. She kind of likes to do. So these gates right here are different levels of how far you can go. So for example, I can't go in to this one. I don't think my level's high enough yet, or it could be high enough. I don't know. Yeah, it must be level 28 glory. And your levels are your glory, actually. So I'm making the analogy saying that you're supposed to be doing things for God's glory. So, but man turns the glory to themselves. So therefore, it's misappropriated glory, basically what it is. That's where your power is. Like, glory is kind of like your key level, you know, your power level. So. Actually, we already beat this guy right here, so I can just go ahead and exit now. I think I've done all that I need to do in this place right here. At least I got to get more of a challenge out of these guys. But you have these monsters that you need to fight in order to actually upgrade your weapon, and you'll see a graphical change in the weapon, so it's kind of neat. Leave. Now, this is something else that I haven't showed you guys. I don't know if I've already saved it or not, but we'll see what happens. This is like really dumb. What is she doing here? Show us how it's found. We're looking at it. Okay, I don't know, but it's not activated yet. But you can do rap battles in this game, because I thought that would be funny. because it is. Okay, that's random. Yeah, I thought we'd find some kids around here, but I don't think that they are available quite yet. Huh, I can't believe I didn't have a place to practice my rap battles. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, I've already conquered all the things. I can show you maybe one Cerberus. This is towards the end of the demo. And remember, you don't have to do any of this stuff. You know? You don't have to do any of this stuff. You can just kind of plow through the game as you want to, but because it's an RPG, it's like more likely ain't gonna win, you know, unless you get some serious tactical stuff. Which I want to get further into in terms of that depth. But it's not quite there yet. Okay, his graphic is actually done. This whole scene is actually done. This is towards the end of the demo right here. Okay, Cerberus kid up here for the challenge. Man, what? My challenge this region where things are good. I have promises to keep. Shout you trip, but I'm 15 to have. But I'm fitting. Sorry, not 15. I'm fitting to have a party at the crib later. Why don't you all come back? Just chill with us. Are you gonna bring him out or not? At least, baby, that is the Cerberus Baccarat non-limit. That's funny. Yeah. What? This kid? Yep, that's him. Man, you got restrained. Alright. I'm about to flex some power. Feel free to run off anytime. You ready? Yes. Okay, that's him. Okay. Probably the most potent thing to do. Oh yeah, let me show you this, because this is funny. I'm not saying that, you know, like, you know, Harris has the hots for ReElise. Let's go ahead and hit the flirt button. We'll have them guard just to make sure, just to watch and see what he does. Now I actually have her counter. So you can flirt with her in middle of the fight. The picture was positioned wrong, but you can flirt with her in the middle of the fight, and she will just lose it, and that sends her to like berserker mode for like 3 turns. But she's like the more angry that Elise gets, the more powerful she is. So she can almost like kill most things. You make her mad enough of like a single shot, but you know she gotta last all that, you know, that long first off. So I want to put that kind of neat touch in there. You can taunt someone too, and then they'll draw their attention and attacks towards him and lose a turn on that. So we say that we'll defend Elise. It will say give him taunt. We'll do some mixing here. Yeah, he's not supposed to have that much power. I want to be a thing where it's kind of like the stronger that you get. Like, let's say for example, he has 88 of power, and like for the deeper spells, I wanted to be, and I'm saying spells in quotes. Deeper spells I wanted to be, you know, maybe 120. So you can kind of see that you're getting closer and closer in terms of being able to handle that particular bit of mixing. So, but anyway, we'll do a flame 2. And then we'll try to daze him. Shazam, son. You think for 1 second you're gonna beat me? You really are stupid. Too much to lose to losers. Feel me? Yo, mama. You broke my staff. The only thing that helped focus my power. Oh well, let's finally go all out. Okay, that's really him. See that? Your emotions will affect you. So now they're terrified and they can't move. Because just like in real life, when you're scared, you're paralyzed. Paralyzed with fear. Black. Ouch. So another thing too is that different attacks can make you angry also. So you know, if someone smacks you upside the head or something like that, you know, then you'll get the effects of anger, and then after that again you'll lose 1 turn. But at least they're really, really mad right now, so so probably makes more sense for her to keep on flirting with her. She gets upset. Yeah, look how much that's taken off. And here's the thing about it, that's cool too, is that like the bosses have multiple transformations, so it's not just, you know, you kind of chopping away at, you know, at the same boss, you know. So sometimes the graphics will change and their attacks sometimes will drastically change. So there's different pieces of it, but I didn't want to drag them out too long, but you know, I at least want to be different to one of your fights, because most bosses have like, you know, maybe 2 different, maybe 1 other thing that they do in terms of their patterns or attack patterns or whatever. Like some of these guys might have like 7, depending on, you know, how far you go up there in terms of, you know, the challenge. Getting to annoy me. This is really, really scary. I don't want to be here. So sometimes your Marios will freak out, so you got to either encourage them or tell them to suck it up. So this is where you really got to pay attention and be like, okay, what do I do as a leader? So you might want to say, oh, I want to encourage her. Obviously, you got this. This is a real thing. Remember what we went through. Is it worth risking everything so that never happens to anyone else? Sorry, Lise. Not as selfless as you are. So that heals him, makes her angry. It's kind of a nice little thing there. Now you see the little arrow coming down right here. That means that she's depressed because she's not as strong as Elise is. So sometimes you gotta, the obvious choice is not obvious during battle. So sometimes you gotta like tell her, no, you do gotta suck it up. Let's go. This is not the time. This is not the time. Super not the time right now. We'll go put a counter on him and let's go. Jeez. Jeez. Now here's another neat too, is that what you can do is you can, if you feel as though, man, I was kind of weak and you're, you know, like myself and you want to challenge, what you can do is that you can quote unquote break their spirit and be like, okay, yes, you want to break the spirit? So if you break someone's spirit or try to talk smack about them, then that means that you put it on hard mode. And hard mode is kind of a different beast altogether. And I'm up for some hard mode right now. So let's just go ahead and go for it. No. You're not taking my father's love from me. No. Okay, so when you see purple, it's just kind of best just to run. Who is this? Oh, strange light. That's right. Let's have him guard. He needs to recover a little bit of life. Try to daze. Let's go for it. Okay, he's dazed, and I don't think he can move right now, so let's go ahead and do the choppy choppies. She is killing it right now. Good grief. Alright, one hit blows, too. That's where we get into the weeds right here. And no, you can't have infinite items also. See that? You're limited to how much you can carry in terms of each kind of item. Because I really want to teach resource management through this game too. Jeez, that is nasty. I don't know. Let's stare at him, see what happens. And I also didn't want to do a thing where instead of you know, having the character, having the player kind of customize to what they want to do and everything. And you can customize as an RPG, but what I really wanted to do, I wanted to make sure that each character had their strengths and their weaknesses to counterbalance themselves, you know, so that when one person is like gone, you kind of feel it. So you kind of had to get through this thing as a unit almost in order to get through the game. So you can substitute things with items into what certain characters can do, but everyone is indispensable. Everyone's important. Kindness. Yeah, let's do kindness. All right. So I'm going to use rage. Then I'm going to have Harris flirt. Then I'm going to do the show punk. See if I can punk him out or not. Okay, now she's in a rage. Oh no, that's it. Oh, nope, we good, we good, we good. Okay. Okay. No, I didn't scare him, so basically he has a technique where he can scare monsters or whatever. So yes. Now Elise will take off probably way more damage than she needs to the game, to the point where almost breaks the game. Let's see if she can launch the attack in time or not. So again, I didn't want to like drag the battles out. I just wanted to, like, you know, have them be challenging or whatever. Good God. Yeah. I lost. How big of a loser do you have to be to lose with this much power? All that hard work for nothing. I wanted to prove to you, Dad, that I wasn't useless, that I was sorry for what a brat I was to you, especially Mom. Hope you guys can hold it together. We have 6 more to go, and at least trembling isn't becoming you. Let's just go. Now this guy right here is not supposed to be here because but he's like a part of a test probably. So right now I'm hurt for some reason. Oh, everyone. Oh yeah, everyone's depressed after that battle. So again, you gotta check your stuff here. what you can do too is that you can look at the notes around here, because this is where they live essentially. So it's funny, never been much of a writer, but being a serverist requires me to live here, so I don't have folk to talk to a lot. I can only write down my thoughts from time to time. It's always interesting to find what thoughts you had in the past and compare them to how you think now. I want to see if I grow. Apparently all the Cerberus do this. I can see why. And give a date. Folks stopped by unannounced today. I think they wanted a surprise visit. But they got the surprise when they saw a bunch of naked bras scattered all over the place. And my homies passed out on the floor. Yikes. I love how I'm one of the most powerful people in the world now, and my parents still scare the ish out of me. I think I better clean myself up a little bit. I work too hard to have my parents think less of me now. It's worth going through whatever just to see my dad actually smile ear to ear when he sees me. So you get to see this story unfold when you're inside the room of the Cerberus and where they're actually staying and everything. I would love to redo some of these backgrounds. I think they're gonna be seeing look really, really beautiful with the right technology. Mom was acting weird again. She started asking all these questions about whether or not I'd be happy if it wasn't a Cerberus. I told her no, because I knew that Dad would lock me up for hitting her all those years ago. God, that's so awful to even think I would have done that to her. She asked if that had never happened, would I be happy? I told her whatever makes Dad happy is what makes me happy. She gave me this weird look, this weird sad look, and kissed me and told me she was proud of me no matter what. It meant a lot. I wish I could hear that from Dad though. So daddy issues apparently. So we can go ahead and pull this thing out right here. So this is what your actor right here is, this thing. Finally, there it is. This is amazing, really. This thing is super creepy. I think it's quite beautiful in its own way. You would. Let me do this moment. Then we're going home, stitch up these clothes and ourselves. What kind of power is this? You know, is this something? This is going to be something we can handle. Now you saw that, you weren't tripping. Okay, it is now, dang, it's 20 minutes out right now. Didn't mean to do that. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this stream for today. I gotta chime in here with who. Okay, so that's my time, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and but I'm glad I can show you ReElise. But this is the game that I really want to make. This is the game I really want to make, and able to look at it now differently and see its potential. Who is this? Donald Trump. God bless America. God bless America to you too, Mr. Trump. So, that is random. So, indeed. That's funny. But anyway, just want to show you that to you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream this time around. I know this is kind of a long one, right, and everything, but I really showed you what I really wanted to work on, was this game right here. I have a Patreon, so go to Patreon and Justin Fox Media. Sorry, jeez, Justin Fox Media on the No Room Patreon account, and you'll pull me up, and right now the biggest thing that I need to complete it was actually finishing all the art assets, because as you can see, there is I'm kind of blown away how much art that I've done on this thing, but there is a ton of art that needs to be completed with this thing. I did the first 400 and some odd illustrations myself, meaning like I drew them, inked them, and colored them, and doing another of that, yeah, not so much. So that's just kind of where it is right now, and then that way we can actually move on to different OS and all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, that's the important stuff. So, and the Patreon's going very well actually. Been very, very blessed by the people who have been supporting it all this time. So thank you again so much. But the more support I can get for this game, the better. The better it will be, and the better it'll look, and the better it'll everything. So if you want this game to be out at some point in time in the future, definitely support me on Patreon. Otherwise, it ain't getting done. So, and again, I just might put this on itch.io in terms of the demo. This is just me actually messing with the actual program itself. You're not starting in the right place or anything like that. But I have a couple of demos that are available. That have it's about a 2-hour demo. It's a long demo. At this point in time, it's kind of like a concept art almost, you know, what it actually could be. So, but anyway, guys, that's gonna be my time. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the stream. Thank you for letting me share this with you guys. Be cherry. Oh, here's another monster. Yeah, this is the aura I was talking about before. See a little aura? Yeah. So I put you a little glossary about, you know, what these do. Hairy moles, get it, hairy mole. Hairy moles are typically found in dry areas. They aggressive towards their nests. The same large claws they use to dig, or the same claws they'll use to dig a hole. Oh wow, really a hole into your chest if you're not careful. Can't see well though. So it gives you these hints about how to beat these guys. This is a dodge ram. Mouse of danger. So you would make sure that your attacks lined up correctly with the auras that are around these monsters and everything. So, okay, sorry. I'm going on about the game again. Alright guys, love you all very much. God bless. Take care and bye-bye.